G'day folks, welcome back to the garage. Right, now just going to do another little job on the Bandit, sort of like a job number 2. I'm going to put some tyre sealant in this back boot. This has got brand new tyres on it. It's got a set of these Storms, I think they're called, and they are pretty good tyres, and they came with the bike. They are just absolutely brand new. So before we go anywhere further, I'm going to stick some sealant in these. I believe in this stuff. Plenty of people don't believe in this. I've got a very close mate who is an advanced rider, an instructor, and he thinks it's a bad idea. He doesn't like it. I've got other people who absolutely swear by it, but I can only talk from experience. On a personal level, I've had this stuff stop a puncture, and a lot of the problems with this liquid tyre sealant seems to be people think they're not going to know when they've got a puncture. Well, hey, if there's air in your tyre, you don't have a puncture. But I know what they mean. They mean that there's a nail or it's an interruption in the tyre surface. It's been pierced and then it's been sealed with this gel, and that's never going to be as good as the original tyre. I agree with that, but you do get to know. And the reason is that all up under here, you will get a definite telltale stripe of this green snot. All up under there, up your number plate, and probably up your back. So to be quite honest, you will definitely know you've had a puncture, and at that point you can make a decision as to whether you want to replace the tyre, take this stuff out. Some people say when this has been in a tyre you can't then fix a puncture. Total rubbish. It's water soluble. You take the tyre off when it's had a puncture, you wash this stuff out with soap and water, then you stick the plug with the metal pin and then the internal glue plug through. Simple as that, and that works every time. So me personally, I've used it. Me and Mrs. Delboy on the bike one day, 70 miles an hour, up a dual carriageway, went to the pub for a drink, turned up, and there it was. All this black, bluey stuff it was. It was an ultra sealed product. It was all up inside the mudguard, and we didn't even know about it. And that tyre at the time was on its last 2 mil of tread, so it was unrepairable anyway. We just binned it, got another one. We would definitely have had a puncture, and that could have been disastrous, or at least we would have been stranded and missed that point, and that's all bad. So anyway, going to bung this in the tyre now. Going to show you how it's done. I've done it before. I did a little how-to on my XR12, and this is the remainder. It's about there, sort of half. There's about 250 mils in there, which is plenty for a tyre. It's 240 mils per tyre. There's 250 in there, so that's plenty for this back tyre. I'm only going to put it in the back tyre. I don't know if you guys have ridden, have had punctures, but why is it they always seem to be in the back tyre? Well, I can show you. There's a reason why. Quite simple. When you get a nail laying on the road, try and find a nerg or something. There we go. Use this. You get a nail laying on the road like that. Front tyre rolls over it, gets to that point, does that. And then as that comes up, rear tyre comes along and it absorbs it. Simple as that. It's 90% of the time you'll get punctures in the rear, not in the front. And I've only got half a bottle of goop there. So the front tyre is going to wait a minute. I'll do that another time. Never had a front puncture. Hey, now I've said that, I probably will. But the rear is usually the culprit. So this is going to get gooped, and I'm going to get cracking now. So let's show you how this is done. It's real quick, real easy, real straightforward. It's on the instructions. You can do it yourself. So let's get stuck in. Stick around, stay tuned. Okay, first job. Get yourself one of these tyre removing or tyre Schrader valve removing tools. You can get them from any tool shop, or if not, inside the bottle of this stuff there is, if you're going to buy this particular product, I can get this off, there's one in the, there it is, there's one in the cap. You can use that one as well. So either way, I'm going to use the one I've got. Take the valve cap off and remove Schrader valve. Don't have to let it down first, just take the valve out gently and it will soon all come out. And that's it. Right, next thing, give the stuff a little shake up. Interestingly enough, there's little black beads in this, and they're only there so you can see them going through the tube to know it's going in. So it's pretty straightforward. If it's at the bottom, you're filling the fluid straight into the bottom, so it's kind of going to fill up. So bring the valve just round a bit so that the fluid sits in the bottom. Now push it on, upend the can and squeeze it in. How hard can it be? It's 250ml for a 180 tyre or thereabouts. It's not ultra important. There it is. Almost there. Just give that a little. The last bit down. There you go, that's it in. It is as quick as that. And doing the front ones just the same. Get a cloth, wipe off any excess. Get your valve back in. Now these little Schrader valves, they are incredibly small and feeble, so don't lean on it like so many threads. It doesn't need a lot of effort, just 2 fingers. Pop that back in. Simple as that. When it goes in, just notice it's just 2 fingers like that. Really don't need to lean on it. Don't do it up any more pressure than you do up a dust cap. That's about normal. That's it. And as usual, if air hisses out, it's loose. So then tighten it up a bit. If it doesn't, you've got it right. If you over tighten it, you've got to replace that, which means taking the tyre off. And then all we do is pump it back up. Now this is the boring bit. Should do it. I cut a bit out there in case you noticed. It takes a bit longer than that. Right, there we go. Bit over 41. We've done it a bit. This time of year, with it being hot weather and so on, £38 is absolutely fine. If you're going to take a pillion high speed, there's your 38. That's it, good. Dust cap back on, and that is it, job finished. Now give it a roll round, because this stuff obviously is liquid. It does give instructions on the book, or on the bottle, to take it for a ride and distribute it around the tyre. It is liquid. It doesn't matter whether I take it around the block now or in the morning. And I'm going to work in the morning, so that'll be fine. I've done that loads of times. Just run it round a little bit so it's not all sitting in a puddle. And it kind of goes like, don't know the best way, it's like wallpaper paste inside. And as you ride the bike, they reckon you sometimes feel a little vibration, probably more in the front than the back, but I've never felt it. It simply distributes itself evenly, and in my book it acts slightly as a balancing agent already. There are these little things called wonder beads you can inject in, which act as a balancer because they act as a permanently mobile fluid content inside the tyre, but this stuff does the same. So there it is. Quick test of the tyre again. One more check. There we are, 38.1, that's perfect. That'll do for me. And that's it. One tyre sealed. Like I said, there are people I respect, whose opinions I respect, like my mate George. They just won't go for this stuff. It just doesn't appeal to them, and I totally respect that in every way. It's your tyre. Once it's been pierced by a foreign object and that object has come out again, the steel belts have been disturbed, absolutely perfectly understandable that you just want to replace a tyre. But you are stranded. I'm self-employed, made that point before. I can't afford to be stood at the side of the road losing a day's pay, so I use this stuff. It is approved. Various authorities and agencies, one police force I know, plenty of people use this stuff and trust it. It is proven, it is safe. And one thing, it will only save a 3 or 4 mil projectile. Anything that goes into your tyre bigger than 5 mil, this stuff's just going to keep coming out and it will go everywhere. And your tyre will deflate. But there's one issue here. The bigger the hole, you get a catastrophic puncture, something like a big flint or a piece of brick or something proper, bit of cut sharp metal that's going to tear a hole in your tyre. That tyre is just going to destroy itself. It doesn't matter what goop you put inside it, it will not seal it. But the fluid will come out of that catastrophic hole as opposed to the air on its own. And fluid, quite naturally, law of physics, will always evacuate from the hole slower than air. You can't deny that. So as it deflates slower, it controls a blowout, and that's proven as well. And I like that. That appeals to me, controlling a blowout. So if you have it for no other reason, as a blowout preventative, use it for that reason. If you see this green stripe up under there, then you've got every liberty to go and get your tyre changed. But here, I'm not selling this stuff, I'm just telling you this is what I do, and that's how I do it. And that's it for today. That's another little job done. It's a horrible, mingy, wet, rainy evening, so I'm just going indoors now for a cup of tea. This has been Delboy's Garage. You've been wonderful. See you next time.